Would you like to read with teacher? What are they? Narrative. We also have. Very good. And then the fourth one we have. And. Okay, very good. And today we're going to zero in or focus on one of these text types. Are you familiar with this? What's the title of this very famous Filipino fantaserie?
Encantadia.
Very good. Who are you in Encantadia?
Amihan.
Wow, Amihan. And what's your gem? What do you call this? What's your gem? Anong tawag doon? Diamante. What's your diamante? Brillante. I'm sorry. What's your brillante? Kagandahan. Okay. Pwede. Hangin. Alright. So, this is Encantadia. And, what type of text is this? This is actually a narrative. And today I'm going to give you copies of your worksheets where you're going to answer the questions that we're going to talk about today. Alright, would you like to distribute? Are you also only this? Oh, okay. So, yeah, and one for each. I think I have more than enough. Alright, kindly distribute. And on the first page of your worksheet, I would like you to answer the following questions. Number one, write down one thing you know about narratives in your worksheet. Number two, with your partner, of course your seatmate is your partner, discuss your answer and together write down 3 more things you know about narratives in your worksheet. Teacher is going to give you 3 minutes to do the job. Are we going to be very realistic about the time, mga Sorenan, or could we assume? Wala pang 3 minutes. Okay. Okay, first question, what do you know? Second question, share with your partner. And write down 3 other things that you know about narratives. And of course, later, do not be shy to share your answers. We're not part of the 44%. By the way po teachers, this lesson is intended for the enhancement camp po. Enhancement camp. Alright, last minute. I can see correct answers already. Now you can share. Alright, now let's talk about your answers. Miss Ganda Amihan, what is that one thing that you know about narratives?
Narrative tells a story.
Very good. How about 5 claps for Miss Amihan? Ready, go! Okay, thank you po. So narratives tell a story. In fact, a narrative is AKA or also known as a story. Very good. What about another thing? Volunteer from my magaganda from Encantadia. Yes, Ne?
It tells about a series of events.
Very good. Since a narrative is a story, it tells about or it has a series or a sequence of events. Very good. And I can have one last. Yes, from you, Toy.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, good morning. I think it's about fictional stories. Fictional stories.
Very good. Narratives are fictional stories. When we say fictional stories, yes, Ne?
From imagination.
Very good. So these are the products of the very wild and brilliant imagination of the author. Yes, Toy?
This can also be called as fabricated stories.
Wow, enhancement cam. They can also be called self-fabricated stories. When we say self-fabricated, this is self-created, right? Okay, thanks to the brilliant mind of the authors. Okay, now moving forward. Okay, so there are many types or categories of a narrative or of a story, and Encantadia is one of them. Encantadia is actually a fantasy. Fantasy, right? Now, another question with your partner again. Can you think of 3 more categories or types of a narrative? Aside from fantasy, can you think of 3 more categories or types of a narrative? I could give you titles. Yes, nay.
Fable, ma'am.
Fable, very good. Another one. Myth, very good. Myth, stories about gods and goddesses. And one last. Legend, very good. Such as the legend of Maria Makiling. Do you know Maria Makiling? Right, very good. So these are the categories or the types of a story or a narrative. Yes, Paul, we would like to acknowledge the arrival of Sir Randy. Sir Randy, how about a round of applause for Sir Randy?
Kaya po pinabati.
Hindi po ako engkanto. Dito po ako sa mga tagahanga din na Encantadia. Ako na-mesmerize pagpasok. Wow! Nandito talaga ang may hawak ng kapangyarihan ng apoy, tubig, hangin. At saka ano pa ba na yun? Una, gusto kong makita, how was it like yung ganitong national learning camp? Parang may tinga pa ako. Kasi bago naman pagdating ko, ubus na yung pagkain, iiyak ako. Kayo ba naubusan? Eh, kinain nyo naman pala lahat! Bago naman. Pero enjoy nyo lang yung accommodation. Alam ko, some of you feel so uncomfortable. Some of you might, ako, on a personal level, Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, I have to go, I have to fly back kasi umiiyak na yung baby ko, like Monday, Tuesday. And it gives me a lot of parang hindi ko kaya. Ewan ko ba't ako nagkakaroon ng ganito, parang, yun? Hindi, yung sayang din naman kaya. Preparation ng sayang. Ayan! Parang,
Sir Punks,
kahit hindi ko katabi asawa ko, pero yung baby ko, hindi ko kaya. Ay, huwag ako susumbong, maganda ang bad ko, mukhang engkantada din yun. Yun lang talaga ako, sir. Mukhang engkanto na. Sa dami. Naiiyak pa ako. Kasi nawala yung 3,000 ko sa bulsa. Sakit! Yung gagastusin namin ng anak ko, off the record na yung gagastusin. Eh, dala ko yung baby ko. Kasi nga, I have to, yung meron akong tatlong anak, yung makatatanda na nga, yung grade 10 na, wala nang pakialam sa'yo pag dumarating ka, di ba? Pero ito talaga naman, Sus Mariosep. Talaga naman para sa akin dumede. Ngayon, I have to go back to the office, pero sabi ko, but I have to be in the office now, kasi kahapon nasa office ako talagang tambak pa yung mga sweldo, yung mga salary, remittances and all. Kaya lang sabi namin, we have to pay tribute and respect. Parang patay lang tayo sa inyo. Kasi parang,
So sure nga,
parang,
250.
wow, kinatok kayo, inistorbo. Ay, kung makapag-picture na, kami yan, anong pinagagagawa ko dito. Pero, thankful, nakita ko po kayo, mga ma'am, sir. Hindi ko ko kayo kilala personally po, your name. Pero ihado ako, ang mga pangalan nyo, ngayon pala hindi sa marmol nakasulat. Ay! Oo, hindi man makabili ng marmol dahil medyo mahal at kung nalaang isusulat sa sa bato. Pero sigurado, kayo meron ng bahagi sa langit. O, sa gusto mo na... Ano nyo pa? Ibig sabihin, you really want to make use of this life given to you. Bagaman mahirap, pero worth, di ba?
Galing.
Worth living. And I hope in the next coming weeks, mga mami, so, maaari yung 250, baka maging 200. Ah! Hindi ka naman! Magba naman! Maaari pa kayo iba. Kasi yung budget, iniisip ko, ay sus Mario, mga ma'am, just to give you context of what's happening. Hanggang kung katabi ko ang Ma'am Rose, nandito ang Ma'am Rose kahapon. Pero katabi kami sa airport na nahintay yung delay ng flight. Ay talaga namang, talagang kasi kailangan yung number of attendees hindi pa maayos. And so, that's why I'm asking the manager, ilan na nandito, ilang kaluluwa, kasi baka may mga naliligaw, baka hindi magkakapala naman naka-register, doble-doble, sus Mariose. So, hindi ko na alam kung paano kayo, pero I think that the tone and my heart would like to say simply, maraming salamat. And we hope yung mga susunod na araw nyo dito, kahit medyo siksik o yung iba mag-transport to other nearby accommodation, that's such uncomfortable. I hope we'll still bring out the best among us, and we hope that the spirit of matatag in this months, that kind of spirit would manifest and share to each one of you, to each one of us, and most importantly to our students. May anak rin po kami grade 7, mag-grade 8, mag-grade 7 nga. Tapos 4 pa lang ang nagpa-enlist sa kanila doon. Sabi ko, naisip ko, sa Kalamba kasi, kayo ngayon palang mag-enlist. Kami, malaking division. Naisip ko lang, hindi naman din naintindihan sa webro. Kami malaking division, pero kahit papaano meron na kami. Meron na kaming listahan, may mga guro na kami, at ongoing na ang training. Para sa kanila, hindi pa. Tapos, 4 pa lang nagpapa-enlist. Sabi ko, anak, pumunta ka dyan. Yung ganon, kasi ganon pa rin yung hope, yung trust, yung pananampalataya ko sa departamento. And because marami akong nakilala at nakausap na teachers sa DepEd at Cavite departments na nandun yung commitment and dedication. And your presence here, nag-goosebumps ako. Like what, siguro nga, kayo talaga yung gems and jewels. Kayo yung nag-voluntaryo. It's not about the service, the incentives. Kasi talaga, importante pa rin yung naiyak ako. Parang after all experiencing the heartaches ng mga past weeks ko, and some of the realizations in life na parang yung mismo ultimo graduation ng anak ko, munti ka po na hindi ma-atteran. Tapos ako naman, sabi ng sa visa ng kapangyarihan. Tapos yung anak ko, hindi ko na ma-witness ang graduation pa.
Ayun na.
Kaya ako siguro ganito. At yun, and I believe, hindi ako yun lang. Marami sa inyo really set aside your family and your personal. Nanghinayang ako sa 3,000, hindi ako makikita. Maganda ka ba kasi sa inyong lahat? Pwede tinapay pa, mamaya may merienda na uli. Mamaya, may dinner. Tapos, enjoy the company. Magkakilala kayo. Kung ano yung tanongin tayo, magkashare natin. Yung mga materials, ipiniprint na, huwag ko yung, ako parang module na naman, tapos na ang quarter, hindi mo dumarating yung oo. Ganun talaga. Oo. Ayun naman. Pero, alam nyo, maraming istorya na kulang ang classroom, kulang ganito. Pero pagka meron kaming guro na nakilala, na nandiyan at sumusuporta, parang parang 95% of our burden na solve na kasi nandyan kayo. At maraming salamat. Salamat po. Sa mga enkantada, mga engkanto ng Dapat Cavite Province. Mabuhay kayong lahat ha. Huwag mo na kayong mamatay.
Natawa ako.
Because we're going to encounter unfamiliar words in the story, so we might as well unlock these words. So I have here word cards. As you can see, children, grade 7. So those words written in all caps, all capital letters, are actually the unfamiliar words. Okay, while those written in small letters are the meanings of the words. So I'm going to distribute this to 10 of you, and then you are going to match the word with its correct meaning. Once you have found your partner, so when you get the card, you have to stand and find your partner. Hence, let's pair up. Once you have found your partner, I need you to stand here in front, okay, carrying to show to the class, the whole class, the word, and right beside the word is its correct meaning. Gets po ba? Alright, so kindly distribute mga encantado encantada. Kulang pa po ba? So okay, get one. Sharing is caring. Alright, now you have the cards. Now I need you to stand and find your partner. And once you have found him or her, I need you to stand here in front and show to the other classmates your word and its meaning. Okay, up stage daw po. Yan, it's your time to shine. Okay, so we have 2 pairs already, 3 more. One straight line tayo mga bebe. Yan, one straight line. Of course, the word should be on the left. So the unfamiliar word first on the left, and then right beside it is the meaning. Alright, now let's check. So dyan. Alright, now let's find out. Okay, show us your card po, mga neng. Alright, let's find out if your meanings are correct. Okay, very good. How about a round of applause for our classmates in front? Now let us practice saying each of these words. Repeat and their meanings. Alright? Repeat after teacher. Please say finish line. The end point of a race. Hare. A large rabbit. Tortoise. A land animal like a turtle. Challenged. Dared to enter a contest. And chagrin. Annoyance or anger. Okay, all together without teacher. Would you like to read the words and their meanings? In my count, 1, 2, 3, go.
Finish line. The end point of a race.
Okay, very good. Now let's level up a bit and use these words in our own sentences. Okay, teacher will go ahead and try one first. Okay, I will be using hare in a sentence. A hare is like a rabbit but is bigger, and it is a pest among farmers. Hare is like a rabbit but it is bigger, and it is a pest among farmers. Okay, what about the rest of my encantada? All the other encantadas are in front. I have just a few here in their sense. Name.
Challenge.
My mother challenged me to save money.
Wow, that is a very good challenge. Financial literacy, right? And Toy.
I'd like to choose the word hair. The hair was very livid upon knowing that he lost the race. Livid, yeah.
Very livid. Si Toy talaga ipang enhancement ka. Alright. Now, how about a round of applause for your classmates in front of me? Now, go back to your seats. Thank you. Okay, now moving forward. Let's go back to story time. Alright. Have you already read this story, The Hare and the Tortoise? Nabasa na po ba ang story entitled The Hare and the Tortoise, grade 7? Okay, if you have, you listen to teacher and you find out if the version of the story that you read before is the same as this version. But while you are listening, I'd like you to think of this question. Who won the race and how did he win it? Again, think of this question. Who won the race and how did he win it? Are you ready to listen? Okay, the hare and the tortoise. There was once a hare who was friends with a tortoise. One day, he challenged the tortoise to a race. Seeing how slow the tortoise was going, the hare thought he would win this easily. So, he took a nap while the tortoise kept on going.
Hindi pa daw kasi nag-start ng demo.
When the hare woke up, he saw that the tortoise was already at the finish line. Much to his chagrin, the tortoise won the race while the hare was busy sleeping. Alright, now before we share answers to the question that I gave you, let's look into the parts of a narrative. Generally speaking, G7, there are 3 different parts of a narrative, and they are beginning, middle, and end. What do we find in the beginning of a narrative? Nen, would you like to read?
Who, the character, where, and when, the setting.
Alright, now what can we find in the middle of a narrative?
Middle, where a problem occurs or something happens to disrupt or confuse the situation and leads to a sequence of events that lead to a climax, a big event.
Okay, very good. And what about the end?
Where the problem is solved or the action comes to an end.
Very good. Now going back, again, what questions do we ask in the beginning of a narrative? Okay, look back at the slide and tell teacher, what questions do we ask in the beginning of a narrative? Oh, come on, mga encantada. Do not be scared of the microphone. Yes, po. Very good. And what else?
Where?
Where and?
When?
Alright, so for the answer to who, what is that element of a narrative or a short story, according to our slide? Very good. What about when and where? Very good. What about in the middle of the narrative? What occurs or happens in the middle of a narrative? The microphone, please. Yes, ma'am?
The problem.
Alright, there is the problem. And this problem or the crisis or the conflict, very good, keeps the action going. And again, in the middle part of the narrative, what do you call that part, which is the highlight, the peak, or the big event in the story? Yes, another encantada, yes, at the back? Very good. That is the climax. And the climax is found in which part of the narrative? Beginning, middle, or end?
Middle.
Very good. Now, at the end of a narrative, what happens to the problem?
Solved.
Okay, the problem is solved. Hence, it's called the, I heard the answer, it's called the resolution. Very good. Now, let's go back to the questions that we will be answering. These questions are also in your worksheet. Alright, so these are the questions. Name, with your partner, I'd like you to share answers again. Name the main characters. What event set the action going? What caused the problem? And the guy questioned a while back, who won the race and how did he win it? Okay, there are 3 questions, each for 1 minute. So 3 minutes working time. The spotlight on you guys, and all of us will be reading the story. There's a copy of the story in your worksheet, and I will also be flashing the story events in the screen. So would like to read, would like to hold the microphone in the reading. Neng, ikaw na ulit. Alright, let us read first before we talk about your answers.
Good morning po. Ask ko lang po kung sino po yung mga nagstay po dito sa Mount C.
Was friends with the tortoise. One day, he challenged the tortoise to a race. Seeing how slow the tortoise was going, the hare thought he would win this easily. So he took a nap while the tortoise kept on going. When the hare woke up, he saw that the tortoise was already at the finish line. Much to his chagrin, the tortoise won the race while the hare was busy sleeping.
Alright, very good. Thank you po. Now let us go back to the questions. What is question number 1 again? Kindly pass the microphone. Question number 1 is, name the main characters. Yes, Neng. Who are our main characters?
The hare and the tortoise.
Alright, now let's go back to the text and find evidence. Where do you find it?
The first part.
Alright, so in the beginning or in the first part of the story or the narrative. Next question. Okay, what event set the action going, or what caused the problem?
What event set the action going? A race po.
Yes, very good. So the crisis or the conflict is that of a race. Let's find out if there's an evidence in the text. Where is it? Oh, there.
One day, he challenged the tortoise to a race.
Very good. And in which part of the narrative do we find it? In the middle. Very good. And the third question?
Who won the race?
Alright, who won the race?
The tortoise won the race.
Okay, the tortoise won the race. How did he win it?
The hare took a nap while the tortoise kept going until he reached the finish line.
Very good. So see the evidence. So the tortoise was already in the finish line while the hare was still sleeping. How did he win it? Because the tortoise kept on going. Okay ba tayo sa story? Did you get the gist of the story? Very good. Now, moving forward. Yeah, because a lot of times, not all answers to the questions are directly stated in the text. A lot of times, the author is asking us to think and to read between and beyond the lines. Okay, the thing here is, when you are asked such questions which are not obviously stated, whose answers are not obviously stated in the text, the main thing here is you need to be able to justify or to give reasons to your answers. The cliche is there is no wrong answer so long as you can justify, you can answer the most important question. And what is the most important question? What is the most important question? For you to give reasons or to justify your answers. Why? Very good. And in your worksheet, there are these questions. Okay, again, with your partner, I'd like you to answer the following. What is the moral or the lesson of the story?
Okay. What lesson moral can be drawn from the story? The moral of the hare and the tortoise is slowly you can be more successful by doing things slowly and steadily than by acting quickly and carelessly.
Very good. So, slow and steady wins the race, right? And this is one thing about life that this very simple narrative is teaching us, all right? We are right on our schedule. We should not be pressured by the other person's schedule, right? The most important thing is we need to keep on going. Very good. Next question. The hare is the villain or the bad character in the story? Do you agree? Give reasons. Do you think the hare is the villain or the bad character? Villain, there is another term for villain which starts with the letter P. Very good. So is he... sorry. That starts, erase. That starts with the letter A, rather, antagonist. Okay, thank you, my enhancement camp people, for correcting teacher. Alright, so is the hare the antagonist or the bad cop or bad person character in the story? Yes, no, one.
For this question, my answer is no, because the hare was just overconfident.
Yes, alright. So the justification is, it's not actually that the hare is a bad person, it's just that he tends to become overbearing, right? Overconfident. Very good. I need another answer. Who thinks otherwise? Yes, Nay?
Ma'am, I think to the tortoise.
Yes, a very good point also. Why can we say that the hare is a bad person or the bad cop in the story when in fact he did not do anything wrong, right? It's just that he was very confident about himself and his abilities, right? Another answer. Last one. Yes, Nay?
From the point of view ng grade 7, ha?
Yes po, yes po.
Yes, the hare is the villain in the story because as a grade 7 student, I was taught that in a particular narrative or story, there should be a protagonist and antagonist. So I believe that the hare played as the
Yes,
antagonist.
very good. Enhancement camper, because a narrative would be really boring. It's going to be a drab if there is no bad cop, bad person, or antagonist. Very good. And I have here another Encantada who wants to answer. I will give her the microphone. Yes, Nay?
CPR daw ang lalamig daw sabi ni
Ano ba, para mabasag lang, I think the hare is a villain. It's stated here that they're friends, right? But why would you challenge a friend to a race or to something or to an activity that you will obviously do?
Right, so now we're talking about life, right?
They're not
If you really are a true friend, a genuine friend, would you challenge your friend?
He is a manipulative friend.
Yeah, he is a manipulative friend.
Yeah.
Okay, it depends on where you're standing or where you're going from, right? Alright, so definitely there is no wrong answer so long as you can justify or give reasons. And then, do I have one more? Ayan, eto. Who would you rather be? The hare or the tortoise? Would you like to be the fast and good-looking hare or the ugly and boring tortoise? I will give you 2 minutes to think. No wrong answer, so long as you can justify. Check your morals. This is the question of the hour. Who would you rather be? Fast and good looking? Or ugly and boring? Yeah, go ahead. You can talk with your partner, discuss your thoughts, and come up with your own, then share.
Ano sa hair? Kasi bago ko naman na ugali.
Alright, do we have a choice now? Toy, come on. Yes. Who would you rather be?
I'd rather be innovative because it's not my call actually. It is God's gift, so God's very fair. Whatever He creates, and especially God, it is a man who always gives each one of them a talent that He can use. It's not all about how you look or who you really are. It's just a matter of what's deep inside you or in the heart.
Right, but I'm sorry, but I missed the first part. I'm sorry. Who would you rather be? Neither?
I'd rather be any.
Okay, any of the two. So neither or neither of the two, because each one of us, either of the two, because each one of us is given a talent, and that's true, right? Skill, we have our strengths, right? We also have our weaknesses, and it's up to us to deal with them. All right. Before you eat your spaghetti, hintayin nyo na ako. I need another answer. Yes, Neng? Save the best for last.
For me, ma'am, I'd rather be ugly and boring. But of course, with a determined heart to succeed, because I know at some point of my life, I believe I will bloom.
Yan, very nice. At some point in your life, you will definitely grow, right? Because you know what, guys, at the end of the day, being fast, good-looking, ugly, and boring, these are just labels assigned to us by society, right? And the most important thing is, you should know yourself. Very good. A round of applause for everyone, okay? And finally, okay, this one you're going to write in your worksheet. I'd like you to look back or reflect on your learnings today by answering these questions. How has the lesson helped you to understand this? The types of narratives, the parts of a narrative. Next, which questions were easy to answer and why? And finally, what strategies did you use to answer the difficult, the challenging, or the harder questions? And then after a while, I shall be collecting your worksheets, of course, with your answers. And tomorrow, in our next lesson, we're going to look at another narrative for us to be able to read and to apply some more reading strategies for us to comprehend that particular narrative. Did you learn something today? Very good. Salamat sa Lord. And with that, my last slide is thank you. Maraming salamat.